mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
I woke up, then I logged in to that Urban X where they be flexing with that blog in. Put it down, cause my little homie called in. Had to bail him out, he in trouble with the law again. Black skin can't win in the white world. Seen a brother kill his own kid for that white girl. We ain't wanna go to school, but we had to. Every February it was scary in them classrooms. Shimmy y'all, shimmy yay. Old dirty bastards can't own dirty slaves, so they own dirty masters. Black Dot found a pot as a youngin', broke it down for his son, and now he serve it to the masses.
Black mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Black mask, man, it's time to rob. I had to find a way, I couldn't find a job. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God. Couldn't find a prayer, couldn't find a God.
Urban Excellence, a product of my residence. From 4 to 44, Obama was the president. I told mama I ain't trying to go to church. I'm like Adam, every Adam is a product of the dirt. And I've been reaping what he sowed. I got the product, got the dirt. And I can teach you what I know, but then you gotta put in work. You in trouble if you waiting on the government. I told my bro I make it out the hood, and that's a covenant.
What's good? What's good? What's good?
What is good?
Thank you for joining us for another week, another episode of the Urban X podcast.
Urban X podcast.
We're in the building, and we're late, but it's okay.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. We know the Urban X Nation know we coming.
We wouldn't be us, man.
If we weren't.
You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't be us.
If we weren't, and right before we came on, I said we're going to have a meeting after the show. Because some things, you know, me being the boss was watching how you guys were operating under pressure. I saw a few cracks. Just some things that I see that I want to identify. That's it. That's it. But we're here.
Definitely. We are here. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for being on time, even though
this is really weird. My headphones is under your chair.
Yeah, you're going...
Okay, I got enough room.
Yeah, okay. You sure?
Yeah. During the break, we'll untangle.
So how was your week?
These weeks are moving fast now because of the amount of shows we're doing.
Yeah.
The weeks are moving fast, but we're getting closer and closer to my grandbaby. That's all I know. That's all I know. I mean, he's still cooking.
He's still baking. Don't rush him.
I'm not rushing him,
Don't rush him.
I'm starting to get the grandpa, fever.
Listen, don't rush.
Odyssey bought me and you.
Yeah, that was funny.
I got the grandpa belt.
Yeah.
I'll wear it one week when we get close. Yeah. It's got all my tools in it and stuff.
I'll show it off because this weekend we're going to be doing a virtual shower.
Virtual shower. What day is that?
That'd be Saturday.
Saturday, what time? Well, they'll get the alert.
Yeah, they'll get it.
They'll get the alert because we're going to do it on Facebook and all. I mean, YouTube on our channel. So they'll get the alert. You can tune in and just kind of, partake in what it is that we do because we like to open up our doors for those. So Malcolm, can you lower your
I just look at the camera one
screen? Okay, look at camera one.
Just look at camera one
because it says not racist but race first.
You feel me?
You know what I mean? Not racist but race first.
Yeah,
that's all we saying.
That's all we saying.
That's all we saying. And if you see my joint, don't hate, reparate.
It's not even a word.
That's not even a word. But we created a word called reparate.
Exactly.
Because y'all know what that means.
Exactly.
All right? So don't hate. Let's reparate.
Shout out to everybody in the building. Somebody said Sweden. Whoa.
Sweden is in Sweden. Sweden? Is it Sweden?
Somebody from LA. Shout out to LA. Shout out to...
Love my LA crowd.
I saw Ohio. Shout out to everybody.
Yeah. Man. Shout you out. We appreciate you. The continued support for what it is that we do. And... the week has been great, eventful, right? A lot of event stuff going on.
And it's always funny because the week could go slow between shows, but right before the show,
yes,
stuff just pick up.
Starts picking up. and popping. As you know, when you get here, wipe your feet, at the door, and hit us with those likes.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Let's get into it.
Let's do this.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So I don't know what happened to Ice Cube.
Bro,
He's been wilding,
Ice Cube
and I like it.
been wilding.
And I like it.
And you know how, if you've been following my work, I've been on Ice Cube's ass for 15 years. You know what I mean? Ever since, he started doing Are We There?
The kids movies.
The kids movies and all of that. And, because at one point I used to say he was the most feared young black man in America, just to look in his eyes and what he stood for, lining up with Khalid Muhammad, the Nation of Islam, his message, the platform he had, his bars, all of that made him very, very dangerous.
Do the Knowledge Radio. Thank you.
Appreciate you, do the knowledge. And then he started doing the kid movies.
Yeah.
And I kind of said that was the way that they soften the blow. That's how they infiltrate you. Mm-hmm. They throw a bag at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that bag can veer off course. But what I will say this, in retrospect of that, understanding how this beast operates, you never know what was said or what kind of threats this man got behind closed doors. You know what I'm saying? Because I spoke to somebody on the West Coast who put me onto a few things, and me understanding how this devil works, I can see, and you don't know what fear is until you under pressure.
Yeah.
It's easy for us on the sideline to say, I'm gonna go 1,000 miles per hour on the beast, until the beast show you some things that you go, whoa. That the only way that they could have did that was being in a situation that could really harm you, and maybe not you're worried about when you start having a family.
Right, okay.
And you got to start thinking about, wow. And I've never been under that kind of fear except when I was with Khalid Muhammad, as I spoke about in Atlanta, that I really understood what fear was.
Gotcha.
Not fear going in the hood and some dudes, and every day, you might get clapped because the dudes is banging. No, that's one level of fear. But that level of fear when people in high places tap you and be like, yo, tag, you it, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, and I'm not making excuses for Ice Cube, but I'm trying to give people perspective on when you become a powerful individual, the type of people who come at you.
So, with all that said, because he did, like you said, soften up. He became the guy that made family movies. If you remember the Boondocks episode.
Yeah, I remember.
Gangsta was telling Riley, like, yo, my favorite rapper was Ice Cube. I used to have nightmares about him coming in and killing my whole family. And Riley said, the guy that makes family movies?
The guy that makes family movies?
You know what I'm saying? So, what happened, because for the people who may not have heard what happened, but he's been going on a tear ever since these George Floyd protests have started, ever since people started talking about the police. He's been going on a tear. He's been tweeting pictures of, him, his old video, his pictures with the Nation of Islam, pictures with Louis Farrakhan. He's been talking about the Jewish influence in Hollywood, the Jewish influence in all forms of government, and people like. The first thing they do is
label you anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitic. That's the first thing.
Yeah, they went with that card. Yes.
And then they started using his old pictures with Louis Farrakhan as proof that he's anti-Semitic and things like that. So, and I also want to say, I don't know how we can get so scared off of associating some beliefs that we may share with Louis Farrakhan, because they made it.
But see, the ADL they do that.
Yeah, we need our own.
We need our own
anti-defamation league.
Right. So when you say certain things, we come at you.
We need people to be so afraid to say something foul about black people that they just won't, because that's literally what they do.
Absolutely. And they have positioned themselves to do that, where even if you're not, once they label you that, it's hard to, come off that label. So in my book, what I decided to do was just label myself that. I said I'm anti-Semitic, I'm racist. I put a whole bunch of stuff in the book. Said I'm that, so you can just get that out of the way. So you can't use that against me. You know, trying to use a reverse, psychology on it. But he even put pictures of Saturn's cubes.
Yeah.
Talking about Saturn and.
So like I'm saying, like, what happened? Who pissed him off for him to kind of step on that ledge? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and that's a ledge that usually once you that far in Hollywood,
It's usually no coming back.
it's no coming back. But it also goes to show that those you think who are off key or off base or out of touch are not.
Yeah.
So they're paying attention, but that Hollywood game, it forces you to do certain things. But at the root of who Ice Cube is, man, this is Jerry Curl.
Yeah.
Ice Cube.
Somebody just said this is death certificate. Ice
Yeah,
Cube.
this is death certificate Ice Cube. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I don't know if anybody's noticed, but like these publications that we thought were hip hop publications, like XXL were saying like he's tweeting out anti-Semitic messages, and then somebody like people do, they just did research on who owns
that?
Who owns XXL.
Free World Boss, thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And then they found out that the company that owns XXL, everybody on their board is Jewish.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying?
There it is.
Yeah.
So, but me and you spoke earlier about the day and time that we are in now is a beautiful time because you can now share information with common folk. Common folk got 10 toes down now. And you can have conversations that expand beyond the normal now.
Right.
Conversations that I can only have 20 years ago with a few people. You can have these conversations, and now people are doing research. People going, oh, really? Bing, 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 and pulling back the covers on things. Free World Boss.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you again.
Bless. Absolutely. You understand?
Yeah.
So now we are in a very unique time. And Ice Cube still has a lot to lose by doing this. But it seems like he's saying all chips are in now. And because this is a time where you may not get another opportunity like this.
Well, and remember, we were saying earlier that now it seems that what I was saying because of what's happening with the coronavirus, the quarantine, and just now with Black Lives Matter, as we'll get into, a lot of people are starting to question things a little faster than I think is usually anticipated by the people who control whatever's happening. Right. So with the quarantine thing, everybody just started. We were quarantined so long, everybody just started just questioning for themselves. Like, all right, wait, this is not making sense.
Philly Bill, thank you. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like this is not making sense. And now with what's going on now with these protests, more people are doing that as well. With when it comes to the people that they tout in front of us to support, with the companies that they're telling us to donate to, with some of the moves that these politicians are making. So everybody just kind of side-eyeing a little bit more
because
now.
We're in the awakening.
Yeah.
Right? So common folk now with 10 toes down is saying, nah, I'm not buying what I would have bought 10, 15 years ago. And so now the precision in which the deep state and other people who usually can get us to roll over, we're not rolling over as fast. So they understand, which is interesting because now I'm curious to see how they move about their next move, because we're going, got you. We're not falling for this. We're not falling for that. And Ice Cube is loaded like this.
Yeah.
Click. He just loaded and letting it loose. And
I'm wondering, like,
and Ice-T.
Ice-T as well.
Ice-T as well. I'm going to throw Ice-T out there, who did Cop Killer. Remember? He did Cop Killer. You know what I mean? And he's in Hollywood, but him too. These brothers in particular on the West have been letting that thing go. And, again, I've always loved Ice Cube. And I loved him to the point where I could critique him when I felt, he was compromised or what appeared to be compromised. But now we in the ninth inning. You know what I'm saying? And he's stepping to the plate.
I wonder what backup plan he has. You know what I'm saying? Because he still has.
Because to me, it doesn't even seem like it's. I can't even say it's some orchestrated stuff he's doing to throw us off.
No, you can.
It's
see,
so genuine.
It looks just so off the cuff.
It's so off the cuff. And me, reading even the text, the vibration in the tweets.
Yeah.
Oh nah, he going off. He's pissed. He's had enough. He's probably seen things in Hollywood that me and you could only imagine.
And then he even tweeted that, like, no, this is cute. This is me.
Yes,
I'm not hacked.
he did rectify.
Hacked.
Nobody hacked my account. This is me, and I'm going off.
And I also want you also out there to notice our black intellectuals that we have in the community, like the Marco Hills, like the ones that get mainstream media attention. Watch them.
Yes.
Because you think that they're these radical, brilliant people. They're smart, but don't get me wrong. But there's usually a line that they don't cross.
Follow the money.
And you can usually tell who's paying them by who when they never cross that line.
Absolutely.
So Malcolm Hill is he started going off on about Ice Cube. Yo, he's anti-Semitic comments are disappointing, and oh, really? Okay.
And you know what he mean when he make those statements. Don't hit you trying to use the anti-Semitic card?
Yes.
So we know who paying you, son. Stop it. Stop it. We at war right now. And everybody has a responsibility to do whatever. So sometimes things happen, and yeah, we can see that part of it is a psyop. But even within the psyop, the spirit of the people and the ancestors always find a way to weave themselves into a situation where we can fully take advantage of a situation. And everybody is loading up like, let's go get it. Let's go get it. Y'all want it? Y'all want to take this over? Let's go get it. Because at the end of the day, we all breathe in the same air. I don't care how many cars you have. And this is what I be trying to tell brothers and sisters on this show. I don't care how many cars or private jet, we breathe in the same air. You have the same equal opportunity I do, but you got a few more trinkets, if that's what it's really all about. You know what I mean? But beyond that, we all have an opportunity. We all have a voice. Some people have a greater voice than others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To get things done. But we all have a voice and an opportunity to do our part. So at the moment, I got to give Ice Cube those props.
Somebody in the comments, Crimson Pride said, what do you think of Angela Rye? Same thing. She's, again, just one of these Democratic pundits who is party before people, right? So again, she talks a great game about black people. She talks a great game about, wanting equality, but again, is party over people. She wants the Democrats to win more than she wants true liberation for black people. Because if that was the case, then she would say, "Hold your vote." Absolutely. Or she would tell you the real about, Joe Biden. You get what I'm saying? So these people that are telling you to vote for Joe Biden, they're the enemy, bro. I'm not Absolutely. I'm not wavering off that. Like,
absolutely.
Whoever, like Don Corleone said, whoever comes to you with this Joe Biden business is a traitor. I'm not wavering off that.
Hands down. Let me thank some people. Deontay Health.
Ant Trav, thank you, baby.
3074.
You always mess up that name.
I always mess up that name. I'm sorry. He knows Hollywood is getting down, so he's letting it all go. Yes. And Aunt Sifu.
She said that man. She's talking about Malcolm Hill.
Yes.
Disrespecting
Dr. Francis Westwell.
Again,
absolutely.
Again, and then when you see move like that, right? You could tell that was on the strength of somebody else.
Absolutely. So, and you too old to be talking like that.
Exactly.
You know better than to be talking like that.
Exactly.
So yes, I agree. We are in some interesting times, and we're seeing a shift, right? So there's a war going on, and we're in the midst of it. So I need everybody out there just to do their part. Even if that means just tapping somebody on the shoulder and waking them up. You know what I mean? Because we all need to be aware. And the more aware we are, the more we can decipher what's real and what's not real. Exactly. So this is a very critical time in history.
Yes.
And when my grandson say, "Pampa, tell me about 2020." Yeah, I was born. Oh, it all started with chicken sandwiches.
Somebody,
right?
They showed the clip of Soulja Boy when he was talking about the people he shot. They was like, "That's when I'm explaining to my grandkids."
Yeah. It all started with chicken sandwiches, son. Popeye. I mean, it was a Popeye sandwich versus Chick-fil-A, and then it spiraled out of control, and they, it all started there.
Plain Sight Rob, thank you for the donation.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
In the spirit of the awakening and people just kind of like opening their eyes, right? I've been talking about the organization of Black Lives Matter for a while now.
For a long time.
I even said, I think last week, I'm with Black Lives Matter, the movement. I am not with the LLC.
Sure,
right?
You said that, yeah.
I wake up today and it seems like everybody at the same time just clicked and go, time out, where's all this donation money that they're getting going? Who's managing it? Where is it? Like, who's in charge of Black Lives Matter? Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that was a real organization.
Right.
I just went to their website. They got founders, time out.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Right? And now people are starting to do research and they found out that they have been donating to these Democratic campaigns. Like for Biden, Kamala.
Oh, Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter with the donation money, because again.
So it's like they funneling the money.
That's laundering.
That's laundering. Yeah, that's a form of laundering money.
That's a form of laundering money.
Yes,
that's
crazy.
What,
yeah.
And that's a lot. That's really what all rich people do.
Yeah, that's all they do. They send it around and bring it back around.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Right pocket to left pocket.
Right pocket to left pocket.
So a lot of people have been putting Black Lives Matter to task. Like, what are y'all doing with this donation money? Again, demanding that they be transparent with what they're doing, because right now they're getting a lot of money from every
which way. And my thing is, if George Soros funded them, is the money going back to George Soros? You know what I mean? That's something to think about. He put some money out to cause chaos and confusion, but it's not money he's going to lose, because people are putting the money back into the organization in which he funded and started. And that's right pocket, left pocket as well.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So it's something to really, really pay attention to. I saw a video that was up on, I believe, Red Pill's page. Shout out to Red Pill, where he was showing some undercover exposés of these Antifa groups, and they did mention George Soros and another person's name that they received donations from, and was going into the tactics on how they come in and be as disruptive as they are. With as many people pandering right now for Black Lives Matter, they are in a great position. These are three women, right?
Yes.
Who are not really fond of black men. Am I correct?
I
read a statement on their page. Shout out Doggy Diamond, and he put it up. And he was like, guess who this is from? And I read it, and I was like, who the hell would put that up? And it's from Black Lives Matter. Something about, it's not really men-friendly.
So, all three, I believe all three of the black women who started there are queer black women.
Okay.
And they are not shy with making sure that is at the forefront of, the inclusiveness, I guess, of Black Lives Matter.
Gotcha.
So we talked about Billy Porter, right?
Yes.
And how, he's been trying to shape and mold the argument, or mold the movement into his favor. They kind of do a lot of the same thing, because if you realize, like, the biggest face that of Black Lives Matter is DeRay Mackison, right?
Aaron Kamani, appreciate you, man.
Thank you. So DeRay Mackison, the guy who always wears the blue vest, who always stages these arrest photos at marches and things like that. And if you remember, just last week he was going in on Sean King about their donation money and what he does with the donation money,
which was a deflection.
Exactly. And
right?
now you're the face, like, you're one of the faces of Black Lives Matter. And now we're asking you where you're doing,
and we want to know where the money is. Now we're in a time of transparency collectively.
Yeah.
We want to know where the money is from everybody, since you guys are going to be the so-called beneficiaries of our hard work, labor, and the sacrifices that we have been collectively going through. So my man Aaron Kamadi asks, what do you guys think of some of these 5-star athletes going to HBC schools? If they choose to go to school, going to an HBC school would be great, because the HBC schools need that. But a lot of them are just going to the G League.
No, well, he said something about Dabo Swinney showing his true colors. That is the coach from Clemson, I believe.
Yes.
So it's football. So football has a greater opportunity. These high school football players have a greater opportunity to do, because they can't go straight to the pros.
Right. So they have a greater impact.
Right.
That if they went to HBCs, they can kind of build them up.
Right.
And it would be a revolutionary act. Absolutely.
Basketball, it's
a little different.
I still don't, I like what Mikey Williams was trying to do, was saying I might go to HBCU.
Right.
He's going to G League. If you watch his highlights, he's
nasty. He's nasty.
He's going to G League.
Yeah.
So with football, I think that'd be dope.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be because they have D1 HBCUs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that'd be, you know, it'd bring a lot of TV money, it'd bring a lot of exposure to these schools, and you know.
So back on these Black Lives Matter boys.
Yeah, man.
We want to keep a close eye.
I'm saying, I've been telling y'all.
On them.
I've been telling y'all.
The organization.
And
hold them accountable.
And if we talking about reopening cases and looking back into some of these things that are unexplained, look into Darren Seals, look into these people who have spoke out against DeRay Mackison and Black Lives Matter, who have ended up shot and burned in cars.
In their cars. Somebody needs to reopen all of those
cases.
Those is that St. Louis?
Yeah, Ferguson.
Yeah, Ferguson, where at least 4 or 5 of those activists mysteriously died in crazy situations, which you brought up when it happened
last year,
and nobody seemed to want to, you know. So now that we're opening up the can of worms, and you know, certain situations, and speaking of Black Lives Matter, you know, again, we had another in-depth conversation, as we do, you know what I mean, and we talked about our moment and other people hijacking our moment. Like, we can never just have our moment. Something for us, somebody even throw a left curve in there. So Billy Porter gets out here and makes this about the LBGTQ, right? ZW, whatever, right?
It's actually plus, but yeah.
Plus,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, they Uber said they're going to start, you know, delivering to black people for free.
Right.
Warren Talesford, thank you.
Thank you.
And now Mexican people and Spanish people are upset about that.
Yep, and then the famous black feminist, her name is Jamila Lemieux, I think. She was on the Breakfast Club. It was a horrible interview. Watch it. If you, it was dumb. Go ahead. But she's making the case that, you know, if the George Taylor murder outshined Breonna Taylor, like it's a die-off, like we're having a competition.
Right. So
who died worse.
So the Breonna Taylor situation, because it didn't receive as much fanfare, but we understand what's going on. So now we even have black women and black men at odds over the die-off. Yeah. Like, which death is more important? And until we overcome that and know that this is for us, and now even the reparations conversation is coming on. If you ain't FBA or ADO or GWD or NWA, whatever the fuck it is, then there's issues with that. You know what I mean? And so the so-called African man and woman in this country are under attack. Like, everybody's trying to hijack our moment. If you haven't been struggling in this country for over 400 years of pain, suffering, blood, sweat, tears, built this country from top to bottom, lynched, murdered, castrated, family separated, lost your religion, your culture, your God. If you haven't, and that's scratching the surface. Don't come talk to me about, what Johnny come lately. You know what I'm saying? You know how you feel about this, and I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about other people who showed up maybe 100 years ago and they're being discriminated against. I understand, but this is, you know how long we've been waiting? And 350,000 ain't even close to what we deserve and earn in this country. We understand that. But every time, and it's a divisive tactic.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Facts. Every time we try to get a little momentum, they want to shut us down because now they got us fighting. They got us infighting now.
Well, we've always been
Yeah, but I'm just saying, at a critical moment, a lot of people been hitting us up with some bread. Thank you so much.
Isaiah Bryant
and Peyton and ADL. On the ADL website, they say George Soros funded Black Lives Matter to militarize police is a conspiracy. So if you're defending AEL, Black Lives Matter, you know it's all. Yep, okay, I can accept that. Anything from ADL, I'm you know. So, you know what I mean? So we've always been fighting with each other. That's the reason the Moors don't get with the Israelites don't get with the Nation of Islam don't get with the Christians don't get with the Nation of Gods and Earth, Nation of Gods and Earth don't, you know what I mean? But this is a collaboration of who we are as a collective. We've all been doing our part to try to put the pieces back together. That's how shattered our reality was since we've been here. And you know, and that's why we have different factions, but we all should be in accord to understand that it's all of our plight. You know what I mean?
I think this just also goes back to we talked about brand building, right? So,
Yes.
like you said, Billy Porter, the woman Jamila, like they have brands around their sexual identities, right?
Yes.
So it's just easy for them, and I think there's money behind them for this exact reason.
Oh, yeah,
Personally,
sure.
I think there's somebody telling you, go out there and say something about this. You get to go out there because again, it just takes attention away from what we're doing.
Absolutely.
But I also want to talk about. I'm glad people are starting to side eye what's going on with just with these companies. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
we talked about all the fake love again, but now that people are starting to realize, well, time out. All of a sudden.
Yes. I'm not buying it.
Time out.
I'm not buying it.
Not like Nike. They just announced that Juneteenth will now be a paid holiday for their employees.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
NASCAR. All of a sudden, we're gonna get into NASCAR right now. NASCAR, they banned the Confederate flag or any Confederate insignias at all their events. People can't even come in with them.
And that's crazy because this is the one. Yeehaw!
That's
Yeehaw!
that's their stuff.
That's their piece right there, where they get to run that Confederate flag and race those cars around in a circle, and yeehaw! And now they can't do that.
Yeah.
And one particular driver was like, you know what? I'm done. You know what I'm saying? If I can't fly this flag, I'm done.
Well, he was a loser, and the people who like those flags are losers. That flag is a flag of losers. I don't understand that.
Yeah, they lost. You lost.
Yeah, lost.
Yeah, but, yeah, exactly. But I sent you the definition of the
Oh, you want me to read it?
Yeah, read the definition.
Well, not the definition. Well, the guy who created
the flag.
the flag. He William T. Thompson, April 23rd, 1863. He said, "As a people, we are fighting to maintain the heaven ordained supremacy of the white man over the inferior colored race. The white flag would thus be what that saying?
Sound it out. Take your time. Take your time.
Emblematical of our cause. I don't know what that is. Upon a red field would stand forth our Southern Cross, gem preserving its beautiful contrast, the red, white, and blue."
So, in essence,
He said this is white supremacy.
it's a white supremacy thing.
And not Southern pride.
Not Southern pride.
None of that.
Thank you, Cassette the way.
Cease the way. You talking
Cease
about
the
I
way.
can't read?
I need glasses.
You talking about
Yeah, we need hooked on
I
phonics.
can't read?
Sure. I don't want you teaching my grandson because
Shoot.
you're showing signs that you're not ready.
Cassette the way.
Yeah. So in essence, it is white power.
Yeah.
It is it ain't about Southern pride in the Southern states. No, it is what it is. But I told you, I enjoy when I see the flag. Like flying blatantly, because then I know,
Right.
Don't stop here.
Right.
We will not be eating there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to come up in your restaurant and then realize I shouldn't be up in your restaurant. So but that's just me. You know what I'm saying? How I choose to do business. You call out these names and say thank you to these people because
Janelle, thank you
I've
for the
been fuck
donation.
their names up. So that's where we are. So the Confederate flag is coming down.
Yes.
In a lot of places.
So I was saying because like that's like a staple for that fan base.
Yeah.
So like again, like y'all are blatantly just going against your fan base.
Yeah.
What would that do?
What is it? I told you, stewing at the bottom of the pot now.
Like that might have been the last straw.
This is what I'm saying. So be careful out there because there's still a card that has not been played.
And Ramel, thank you for the donation.
There's still a card that has not been played.
Yeah.
And that's the extremist who go, I want to be a hero. You know what I mean? And have my name go down that I stepped out in the middle of so-and-so and did such and such. So be careful in these crowds. You know what I'm saying? In a nutshell is what I'm trying to say. Definitely be careful in these crowds. Dante, peace. Appreciate the support as always. Oh, man, how to be more. You already know what it is.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Mogul Monopoly, thank you for the donation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Somebody said Cease the Way is going to be at Gnome 10. Oh, me and my pops, we were just talking about that. Low Deluxe versus Sue Surf.
Oh, you going to be there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who I have in that yet.
I got loaded.
I haven't seen a battle hasn't caught my eye in a little while, but that one did. So I'm gonna tune in for that one for sure.
I got loaded.
I got loaded.
I think Loaded's the greatest.
Sue Surf is nasty, bro.
I think Loaded's the greatest, even though he can lose. We've seen it. Ali has lost a few fights. Right. I still say Ali's the greatest, right? Yeah. So Loaded's the greatest.
It depends.
And
it depends on what Sue Surf we get. But I think Loaded.
But on any given night, if Loaded sleep, of course. This guy Sue Surf is nasty.
He's nasty. Yeah.
He is nasty. So that's gonna be a good one. How much they charging for that?
I don't know. I don't know.
All right, so let's get in on that. We'll get in on that. I got $5. I got $5 for that.
Oh, so real quick, this is something else that came up. Joe Biden said that George Floyd's death made more of a global impact than MLK's assassination.
And he's smoking crack rock.
I think he's smoking crack rock already.
Bro. Yeah, he's proven with a statement of that magnitude that he is smoking crack rock. Yes?
Yeah.
We've already said this man has lost his mind, his marbles. We don't know if he's coming and going because he said, and I saw, he looked in the camera and said, I am the one qualified to beat Joe Biden. And I looked around and said, well, ain't this nigga Joe Biden? Mm-hmm. So we know he's lost his marbles. You know what I mean? And he's caught into the moment of what legislation potential. But come on, Dr. King was, man, listen.
But again,
and they tore the whole United States up because they love Dr. King. So it's a whole different energy and all the sacrifices. Don't even put that man, no disrespect to the people out here who rocking for George Floyd and all of that.
But you see the way the media can paint that. Like, somebody said it in one of the whole questions that he went on a tour funeral, like a funeral tour.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That he was just going state to state. Like, he had like three televised funerals. He had a memorial, then the viewing.
But see, in this day and time,
so you can make a martyr. You know what I'm saying?
We know, right? We know that's propaganda stuff now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The Nipsey Hussle funeral, not saying he wasn't well-deserving, but the way they moved was a little alarming. It was bigger than Michael Jackson. I'm like, I'm not sure.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, Off the Glass podcast, thank you so much. We're not going to lose focus because they tearing this down and tearing that down, getting people to let their guard down. Nah, we are on it, King. We on it. We see what's popping, and we're going to stay on the neck of these beasts. You can go to commercial?
Yeah, we're going to go to commercial.
Let's go to commercial break.
Tired of reading, doing research, and extensive studying to fact-check the information that you present? Well, now you don't have to. Become a YouTube scholar. That's right, a YouTube scholar. Throw away those books. No need to quote real scholars. Burn those research papers. All you need is a YouTube connection. Watch YouTube videos at night, in the daytime, during breakfast, while you're on the toilet. Impress your friends with information you really don't know. After 100 videos watched, you are now a YouTube scholar. To sign up for this program, dial 1-800-WHY-STUDY. That's 1-800-WHY-STUDY. But wait, there's more. Log on to shopurbanx.com to pick up the latest in urban apparel.
And we're back.
And we're looking for the same thing. Check out this ring. Speaking of Chuck D.
Oh.
I want to see how I segued into that.
That was great.
You see what I'm saying?
That was great.
I want to congratulate Public Enemy.
That was great.
Because they received the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Grammy Lifetime. Right? Not just a Grammy, but they're in the Hall of Fame type of, situation. And Griff sent me a photo of him holding his Grammy. And I was so proud because not that this really means anything to Griff, because Griff is not really that kind of guy, but I think he deserved it. You know what I mean? And this is legacy time now. So, something he can show his grandchildren that, yeah, I did do that and I was recognized for, my contributions, especially now. In this time, because Public Enemy's music is more relevant now. That's timeless music. I talk about fighting the power, fear of a black planet, and it takes a nation of millions to hold us back. So I always call Public Enemy the greatest hip hop group of all time, because they had the voice in Chuck D, they had the sonics with the Hit Squad and how they did, and aesthetically we had an army, and that's what the S1Ws and Professor Griff represented, that we need these components to bring about change, and change, so before records, I say Cold Crush Brothers. Right. On record, I'm going to say Public Enemy, and then my honorary mention has to be the Wu-Tang Clan. Easy. When we speak about groups and their magnitude and input, and you have to throw NWA in that mix, another honorary mention. You know what I'm saying? Specifically what Cube did to kind of bridge the gap. You know what I'm saying? Because when Cube came east and got with the Hit Squad and got with Public Enemy and infused his style with the message that needed to be put out, it changed the game. You know what I mean? So as we're speaking about Cube today, we're speaking about, the influence that Public Enemy had on that. So to see Griff, now Griff, I know you don't drink, but we're going to have to put a drink inside that. Take a sip of something. You know what I mean? I just want to hold it because now I know somebody personally who I love and respect has one. So shout out to Public Enemy. Shout out to Professor Griff. Well deserved for Public Enemy. I just got that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, hold on.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So, real quick, I want to answer some questions in the chat because they were talking about George Floyd's funeral. Somebody said, why was his casket closed? I saw pictures of the casket open.
One funeral was closed.
Yeah.
And another one, it seemed like it was open.
Yeah, I saw it from the angle, like the top of his head. Like
so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
So I don't want to, But I did see one funeral was closed, and as he was on tour,
yeah,
they opened it up or something, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, on tour.
On tour, yeah.
So, again, talking about a lot of everybody just kind of pandering right now to black people, or just pandering in general, just trying to be diverse in everything that they're trying to do. The state of West Virginia has elected their first openly trans state official.
West Virginia?
West Virginia.
Ouch! That is like progressive, up the ass progressive. For West Virginia.
Yeah, and again,
Whoa.
it just seems like what your base stand for. You know what they are, who they are, and then you are doing moves to contradict that like directly. So,
and what is that going to do?
Right. So I'm not sure. Like, I feel like as just who we are, we just have to look at it from what are they really trying to do with that?
It's almost like they poking the other bear. Like for years, I said they kept poking us. Like, what y'all gonna do? We keep killing y'all. What y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do? And we finally said, you know what? Fuck this. Right. And started putting in work. Now they turning over to the extremists. What y'all gonna do?
Yeah.
What y'all gonna do? Yeah. Well, what y'all gonna do? So now this thing could turn into a mini race war. You know what I'm saying? Because West Virginia, you would think that would be one of the last places that would move like this. And whoever that person is needs to be careful. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Thanks.
Because now you in the bullseye, so to speak. You know what I mean? So, so it's one of those things. Whoa, that's it.
Her. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't
do that.
Okay, I got caught in the middle. Should I be politically correct or should I?
Don't do that.
Was it a guy? Was it a girl?
We're not trying.
Okay, so should we hit the clap? I mean that is progressive.
Half a clap.
Clack, 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 clack. All right, that's it. We'll do that. And what's this person's name?
Rosemary Ketchum.
Rosemary Ketchum?
Yeah.
Pause.
I guess. I don't.
Okay. Rosemary Ketchum. All right. So shout out to Rosemary Ketchum for your advancement in the culture. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what's next?
Byron Allen.
Byron Allen. This is back to the pandering stuff.
Yes, because remember, we talked about his case against Comcast. We were trying to follow the case. Didn't hear about it for a while, for a long time.
Right.
Then we heard about it. Apparently he lost, right? And then Comcast donated $100 million to racial injustices and stuff like that. We said, hold up. Isn't that what he was just suing y'all about?
Yeah, so they look like assholes.
Yeah, they look stupid.
They look stupid.
Just like the NFL's look
sort of
stupid.
like he's like the Kaepernick of cable.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
He took a knee
Yeah.
for cable vision.
Yeah, basically.
Right? For the injustice in cable, and now they're gonna pay him for that.
Yeah, so they worked out an agreement to where he gets a share of the channel, because the fight was that Comcast didn't set aside a specific amount of channels for black-owned
Right.
stations.
Stations and people who had yes.
So they worked out an agreement for a certain amount, I think like 14 different channels he'll get.
Okay. So he wins.
Basically, yeah.
Okay. And
he dropped the $20 billion.
of course, he dropped that.
Yeah.
You got to drop that. So now we'll, in this time, because we're in a beneficiary time.
Facts. Start applying for jobs. They
Right.
need to
I'm
look-
going in to get the new Lincoln Aviator with no money down.
They need to start looking diverse. Start applying.
Watch when I go in there. They're going to be like, hey, Black Lives Matter. And I have on a Black Lives Matter t-shirt. You're welcome here. And I'll be like, yo, son, but due to the hard times, man, and the struggle, I ain't got no job. And I ain't got no money.
No credit.
No worries, sirs. This is Black Lives Matter. Just give them the keys. And I'm just going to rev it up and drive it out. Pay them later.
Yeah. No,
I mean, but the way they acting, right? The way they pandering all over the place. This is a great time if you were in a position at your job to go get a job. And me and wifey was watching the news recently, and they said 15% of all major retailers have to have black merchandise now. You know what I'm saying? Companies that sell black-owned businesses, since we represent 15% of the population.
They need to have 15% merchandise in the
Yes,
store.
in their store. 15% merchandise from black-owned businesses.
Yeah.
So this is a great time if you was ever looking to franchise something that you do and you have your ish together to go in there and take full advantage. Forget about what brought it about. You want to get in and take advantage, because the only way we can even out the playing field is get in the game and take advantage somehow.
Have some skin in the game.
Have some skin in the game, yes, and make that thing happen. So Byron Allen wins.
Yeah.
Kaepernick is gonna win. I don't know if he'll come back as a player.
He don't want to come back.
All right, so okay.
Because if he comes back and stinks,
We already said that. We saw the martyrism of who he is has to remain, at that stage. So, but if they make him a president or something of that position where he's connected to the NFL, maybe he becomes the ambassador. Maybe they take Jay-Z's position from him. Well, Jay-Z just want to dance and have concerts.
The NFL just pledged another $250 million over the next 10 years.
Who they pledged to? Rock Nation?
No, to undeserved communities.
Okay, right.
Yes.
So undeserved communities.
Yeah.
So with that being said, if you put Cap in charge of that, or make it seem like, then maybe that works for him. I don't know.
He probably should go for that, because if he goes for his job, he's at a disadvantage right now.
Don't go for the quarterback position.
If they go, you know what? We didn't give you a fair shot. Let's get you on a team. Then he stinks
because
he ruins his own.
That's
message.
My point.
Like he ruins.
Because then it goes like, see, that's why we told you. So he has to never play again and have you wonder.
Yeah.
What he could have done if he, you know what I'm saying? See, Ali came back after 3 years of not prime and won his title back. So that was vindication beyond vindication. If he comes back and he's just an average quarterback, then the luster and allure of the legacy he has created diminishes.
Facts.
Yes?
Yeah.
So again, brothers and sisters, go into your local store and apply for a manager's position.
They need diversity.
They need diversity in management. Just swing for the fences. Don't go for a cashier or a stock. Go listen. I want to be the manager with a straight face.
No experience.
No, I have no experience, but I'm willing to learn.
I don't even know how to work that register.
I don't even know how to work it. You know what? You're hired. Black lives matter. Black lives do matter. And next thing you know, you're the boss. I have the gall to do that. I'll go in there and be like, listen, I can only work 1 day a week, but I want to be a manager when I do work here with a straight face. Yes.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So Starbucks has informed their employees to not wear anything in support of Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, and I'm not sure how I feel about that because since everybody is over pandering, maybe Starbucks, because I don't drink their coffee anyway, but maybe they like, you know what, well, we're going to stick with what we do. At least I can say they kept it real. You know what I mean? Now they called the police on black people who was in there having coffee.
And then if you remember, they had like a diversity training and so what you're saying was all that was for naught.
That was all for naught. But I think the over pandering is starting to get me intoxicated. Like, geez, come on, calm down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe they're the first ones to say, okay, we understand, but geez, or maybe they just straight racist. Like, all that Black Lives Matter. But everybody who go in there, when they ask you what your name is, you tell them your name is Black Lives Matter. So that all day long, Black Lives Matter.
It's a good idea.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
That's actually a good idea.
Say latte. Black Lives Matter. That's all you got to do.
That's smart.
And that's for even the white people, because you got them progressive white people. Yes, Black Lives Matter. Put that name on my coffee and make them have to do that. I think it would piss them off.
That's actually clever.
Yeah, piss them off. Piss them off.
Good job.
Yeah.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So Apple company, they pledged another $100 million.
$100 million.
Yeah. Yeah, these companies are just giving bread.
Dude, we need to get in.
YouTube as well.
Yeah, YouTube. I sent you that clip.
Yeah, YouTube
is doing some diversity thing for black.
Yeah.
Creators and stuff.
Voice. I don't like all this vague ass language that they use in every one of their statements, about where the money's going.
Yeah,
They never say what community it's going to.
Yeah.
They never say what organization they're actually donating to.
True.
None of it.
But this is a lot going on, and it's almost it's making us seem like and it's pissing off a whole nother section of people who haven't had their say. And I'm gonna say that again. There's one card that has not been played yet in this whole psyop, right? Mm-hmm. And you know what that card is? I don't have to say it. And you think they are happy about what they see?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, something crazy about that. Because for the people who don't know, Donald Trump is going to have his return rally.
Yes.
Post-coronavirus quarantine rally in Tulsa, Oklahoma on Juneteenth. Right?
Yes.
So a lot of people, Dan Rather, these people, they pointed out like, this is like the final middle finger to black people because he's only doing this to be racist. Kamala Harris said this is just a white supremacist welcome party. I think, here's my hot take.
Okay, hot take.
Here's my hot take, right? I think he is going to, because I think before the election, I think Trump is going to do some like monumental.
You said that.
Landmark move for that's in black people's favor because Biden and all these Democrats are not in office, so they can't do any. They can't actually push anything.
They're handcuffed right now.
Right.
They can only talk about what they
would do or want or promise to do. Right. So I think Trump is either going to like make Juneteenth like a federal holiday or something. Mm-hmm. That'd be like at
that location,
Black Wall Street and things like that. Or something else, right? Because what that'll do is put the ball back in the Democrats' court. It's like, all right, so what I got? Y'all said he was racist. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a chess move either way. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Donald Trump.
But I don't think it's gonna be as cut and dry as something racist.
Donald Trump. I like the blacks. Okay? Monumentally, in this location, almost 100 years ago, white people like myself, we bombed this neighborhood into destruction. I, Donald J. Trump, is it J. Trump? Whatever.
I think.
Whatever, me and Ivana. Is it Ivana?
Ivanka.
Me, Ivanka, I have so many wives. I don't know which one.
Oh, no, that's Ivanka's his daughter.
Malaya.
Milana.
Milana.
Whatever the hell her name is.
Whatever. I'm going to do something historic for the blacks. We are going to take away loans. We are going to give you free housing for a year.
Watch.
Sign it. I'm going to sign it tomorrow. You know, because the blacks' lives matter. The blacks' lives do matter.
And further support my theory, because it just came out that the White House said he was going to sign an executive order for police reform. So I think he might announce it there or something about Juneteenth. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm telling you. So when that happens, just at me on the gram and on Twitter. Just let me know.
Yeah. Jason Gandhi.
Oh, we are going to talk about that right now.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Right now, because Biden.
Your man Biden is wilding again. He's smoking crack cocaine.
So Joe Biden said that he would like to extend reparations to Native Americans as well. I obviously have a problem with that.
Explain to me why.
Because if you know your history, Native Americans, or, you know, the Native Americans, you know who we're talking about, they actually held African slaves as well.
Yes, they did. So how can they get reparations?
For slavery.
For slavery.
And they already have, because, you know, what happened to them in this country, they have a lot of benefits.
And they have received, no disrespect to, when we speak of the natives, I'm not talking to Moors who are here, because we understand that there's a distinct difference. But the ones who had slaves, right? And the ones who, when their land was taken from them, were heavily compensated for that. You know, they get goddamn casinos, and you know, it's a lot that goes into the benefit of being so-called Native American. This is a black thing. We're not going to let you water this down or anything else. If you ain't got 400 years of what we've been through, you don't get no bread. That's it.
Yeah.
You just got to deal with your issues when it comes later for your time. This is our moment. And you remember, I was the one who said reparations would never happen.
Yeah.
I said that last year. I said, you niggas is dreaming. And then understanding this particular moment on how it could happen. You know what I mean? That's why I'm wearing the shirt. Don't hate, reparate.
But yeah, so like, and we also have to just pay attention to just feeling good in the moments. We're like, yeah, we're talking about reparations. Hey, yo, throw Native Americans in on that.
Right. Yeah, no, we ain't doing none of that.
Throw gay people in on that. Like,
because that's what it's gonna boil down
gonna
to.
Happen.
You know what I'm saying? So no, this is strictly about us. And if they got to come up with a better number than that, unless they're talking, you know, no loans, no more.
Facts.
You know, all of the stuff, no taxes being paid for the next 400 years. Income taxes and for black people. How about that?
I was talking
Give me $350,000 and no taxes, and wipe away all of our loans and allow us to get homes. Then we might be able to talk.
Because I was talking to my friends, because like America has never formally apologized for slavery.
Right.
So they technically have never really acknowledged it.
Because if you apologize, then that means you have to pay us.
Right. So that's never happened, right? Germany apologized for the Holocaust.
Yes.
South Africa apologized. They formally apologized for apartheid. You know what I'm saying? And then what happens is, when you formally apologize, then the next moves that are made are clear about what it's for and who it's for.
Absolutely.
So if you apologize for slavery, then these reparations are for slavery.
For slavery and nothing else.
Nothing else. So when you talk about extending it to Native Americans, when we can trace some of those back, they had slaves.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So understanding the significance of that, and it's all in the language. That's why they have never formally apologized, but they're doing a lot of apologizing right now.
Yeah.
I just saw a video of a whole bunch of white actors.
Oh, that was
females
reading off a card.
It was so terrible.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm sorry for being insensitive. I'm sorry for not speaking up when I saw niggas. I mean, black people being killed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I saw discrimination on a job and looked the other way. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my, what the hell is going on here, right? So now this is in full motion. Somebody's going to have to make a monumental statement. It could be Trump on Juneteenth.
And the only reason I'm saying it, not to say that Trump cares about black people, but
this is a chess move.
It's
this ain't got nothing to do with you per se.
Yeah, it's Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Ain't got nothing to do with you per se. It's got to do with the situation and what the Democrats is doing. And now let me throw them off. You know what I'm saying? By putting my piece on the board, and now they got to make another move.
What would they like? What would be the?
What would you do to top that?
Exactly. And then Biden thinks he just got this thing already won.
Right.
He was telling people that he think because when Trump loses, he's gonna have the military protect him and not give up power. Like
I'm gonna have the military go escort him out.
Like you think you got this chalked up already? Like he already decorating the drapes in the White House. Like
Bro,
telling you,
this is interesting.
Telling you, because he expects your vote. And then, like I said in the last show, right? Everybody's talking about defunding the police and things like that. He's going, no. We could just reform it without defunding it. So that means he doesn't take your concerns that.
Right. And they just in New York City passing the legislation to change the 50A law.
Yes.
And that's to add more transparency.
Yes.
Because that's what hides a lot of what the police officers do and things of that nature. So if we're bringing down these laws all around the country, it has to be a great thing, but we have to reform, police department in a way that just makes it more transparent. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to Russell Simmons' interview on the Breakfast Club.
I was surprised they interviewed him. But
yeah, I was surprised. So I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes.
Okay.
But one thing he did say is that the prosecutor's dilemma is if they prosecute somebody else, they get a feather in their cap. But if they prosecute the police, it's almost like their head get chopped off. So it's a lot of political stuff with police unions, them getting revoted. So a lot of them don't truly pursue, bring in police officers to justice. We have to eliminate that process so that the justice is well deserved that you get.
Right.
And you got to start holding the officer sitting next to that officer accountable. You guys are one now. Sort of like if I screw up and everybody got to do laps on a football team, how many times have you been cursing a dude out that made all of y'all have to do laps because he didn't handle his business, right?
Yeah.
So the police, you sitting next to a racist officer and you do nothing about that, then that needs to be something that needs to also be addressed, in my humble opinion. Yes?
yeah, fact.
All right.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So a lot of statues around the country, like Confederate statues, Christopher Columbus statues got beheaded in Boston, I think. They taking the Confederate statues from different places, tearing them down, throwing them in the lakes and things like that. So we have Columbus Circle in New York City. Big Columbus statue there, and somebody asked Andrew Cuomo, who's the governor, about taking that statue down, and he goes, "No, because it has a lot to do with the Italian American legacy in this country."
And I started scratching my head, but go ahead.
Yeah, I started scratching my head too, because if I'm doing my history correctly, he sailed for Spain.
Yes.
Right. And then this became a Dutch settlement.
Yes, this became a Dutch settlement.
So where did
Italy come
and
from?
I've never heard of any Italians claim.
You
Columbus,
might get a few who claim him,
but yeah, I've never heard it as a thing of pride.
But his legacy,
yeah.
And he's a rapist and a murderer and a pilgrim. He pilgrimed. And he was what I mean.
And he was an idiot. He was
a fucking idiot.
He was an idiot. Yeah. He didn't know where he was going.
Absolutely.
So okay, and then I don't think Andrew Cuomo wants us to really dig deep into the Italian American legacy in this country. For real?
Maybe he does.
For real?
Maybe he wants us to peel back some of those layers.
Like, I don't think he wants that.
He wants that smoke. If he wants it, we'll give him that smoke.
So for the people who we're drinking that Kool-Aid, which I've been talking about for months. 4 months that this dude is not who the media is talking about.
And he's complicit in a whole bunch of stuff dealing with deaths from these fake-ass corona deaths.
Bro.
And a lot of stuff. This man is complicit, and he needs to go to jail.
Oh, and we talked about the nursing homes, but let's
Right.
even get back to the deaths, right? So they're saying that COVID is spiking everywhere they open up the states, right? So again, more political moves. Everywhere is open in the states. But for some reason, he keeps saying that New York's numbers are down. Like, it's not happening, but New York is protesting just like everywhere else. On my block alone, I haven't seen a mask in like 3 days.
Yeah.
Everybody just out. No
Right.
mask. I still wear my mask. I want people to be comfortable around me.
Right, so you wear it down here or
Yeah, at
something.
least.
Yeah.
No mask, nothing. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So how is our numbers not up, or like what?
Yeah.
Or he's trying to set us up for
Maybe.
if it comes back that again New York is the hardest hit. I gotta shut down everything again.
Listen.
Watch that dude. I'm telling
Watch that dude. And I'm pretty sure he does have aspirations for higher political gain.
Watch that dude.
A little bit later. You know what I mean? So, and I saw something in the New York Post yesterday that I'm going to share with y'all. And because I shared it with Malcolm. And it was chemicals used by police amid protests may spread COVID-19. CDC director. New York Post yesterday. Or the day before.
you. Day before yesterday, because we talked about
Right. Day before yesterday. So, and I said that.
Yeah.
I said, what if that shit they throwing into the crowd? So we have to give it a 2-week period, so to speak, for this to come back. But then somebody else posed the question, and I posted this on my Facebook. Why do we need a vaccine if 99% of the people recover from COVID without a vaccine?
Right.
That's a great question. That's a meme.
Yeah.
If 99% of the people are recovering without a vaccine, why will we need a vaccine? So we're going to pay close attention to his next move or two,
Yes.
because New York was filled with protesters and there was tear gas and mace everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're going to pay very, very close attention to your boy.
Told y'all about that.
Yeah, to your boy.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So Amazon and Microsoft, they decided to stop. Well, Amazon decided to stop using their facial recognition to help the police.
All right, I like that.
Yeah.
F the police.
Yes. And Microsoft decided to not sell their facial recognition to these companies to use for protesters and things like that.
Okay, well that's a good thing.
So that was interesting.
I found a way to beat it. You know what I'm saying? I was rocking with the Chinese, and they showed me a few things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I stay connected. They showed me a few ways.
Now they're professionals.
Yeah, they're professionals on how to beat the face recognition and all of that.
How to beat the tear gas.
Yeah,
all
how to
that
beat the tear gas and all of that. So yeah, they hit me off on some things. You know what I'm saying? So you can beat it. You can walk around the city. And they be like, "Who the hell is this?" You know what I mean? So interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
USC, University of Southern California, they said that they brought back Reggie Bush as a part of the school community because he wasn't recognized because of the Heisman stuff.
Well, clap that up
That's
for
right.
Reggie
That's
Bush.
dope. That's dope.
Everybody kissing ass.
Yeah.
Come on home.
Yeah.
Come on home. Yeah. Facts. Do you think they'll give him his Heisman back?
No.
Why not? He's black. Black Lives Matter.
True, but I just don't think so. The Heisman committee, I feel like that's something else. That has nothing to do with USC. USC on their own should recognize him as a Heisman winner. You get what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I get it.
That's what they should do, but I don't think the Heisman committee would do that.
Okay, because it was unethical.
All these schools do that.
All these schools do that. Yes. So yeah, I'm happy about that for him, and because it's well deserved.
Yeah,
You know.
they actually took his Heisman away. Like came to his house and took it.
And literally took it.
I wouldn't have gave that up, bro.
Nah, I wouldn't have. I would have been like, I lost that. I lost.
Crazy.
That. Yeah, man.
Mayor De Blasio said that he's going to name every at least one street in every borough after Black Lives Matter.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
You know how DC did the Black Lives Matter street?
Oh, it's gonna be one in every borough.
on everybody,
Yeah, I heard about that. See? Yeah, that's crazy.
What that does, I have no idea.
It just means more pandering. Somebody said the new PS5 is hot.
I checked that today.
Yeah, I saw you.
Getting that.
Checking that out.
Getting that.
Yeah, I know Eli getting that.
Yeah, showed Eli.
Just to piss y'all off, I'm going Xbox. And I don't even play it. I just like to piss Eli off. Are you getting that, Dad? Because I want to. No, but it looks like the graphics is gonna be crazy on that. So back to de Blasio putting one in every what is this? Niggas Matter Street Avenue.
So again, because we know Black Lives Matter, and that's probably trademarked. Is it?
I would assume by now it's
right. So if that's trademarked, or if it's an actual company, it's called Black Lives Matter, then all these companies are using it. All these.
And
people,
what does black mean?
But listen. And I'm gonna name streets after it. So you have to, and quick. This is happening fast.
Yeah, this is happening real time.
It's happening fast, right? And so you have to assume that there's some backdoor deals getting cut for this to happen.
Obviously, everybody is pandering. And what does black mean? I'm talking to my Moorish people now who understand that that's not a title.
Yeah, so
you know what I mean. So in the grand scheme of things, when y'all say Black Lives Matter, that don't necessarily mean us as a people, the indigenous people, the sovereign people. So I just throwing that out there because I know the Moors are having a very hard time right now. They're suffering damn near worse than the white supremacists. Black is not a goddamn, you are not a crown. Stop calling yourself black. And you know what I mean? So I get all of that. So by them putting it on the street, what does it mean? What does it mean?
Yeah, it's probably some secret different mathematics that they're using.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. They, everything is coded with these individuals and these people.
I didn't think about that.
And sure, that means something totally different. That's a title, or you know what I mean. You know how it goes. Speak to I see the Duke of Tears. He'll break all that stuff down. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna take another commercial break.
Quick commercial break,
and we'll be back.
We will be back.
Yo, Artie, can I holler at you for a minute?
Oh, shit.
Pop's tripping. He want me to ask you for the money for that shirt. You know I wouldn't even trip.
What shirt?
The one I sold you. The one I've been asking you about. The one you got on.
Oh, this shirt. I didn't know you wanted the money, homie. I thought it was free. Let me go get the money for you.
I mean, because it's this blog. Me and my dad do Urban Xcellence. It's kind of like both ours. I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool.
Oh, shit.
My Urban X shirt, punk.
And we're back.
Yes.
Thank you for the donation, Kimani Williams, through the Cashapp. Appreciate you.
Oh, appreciate you. Appreciate all that support. Man, need Pampers.
Somebody said to add the PS5 to the registry. I will.
Add that to the registry.
He gonna need it. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's funny, because I added, when you were born, I added a bike. Like a mountain bike. It was a joke. I didn't get it.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to make it funny. People was like, a mountain bike? Why would the baby need a bike? I don't get it. And is he serious? So yeah, add that to the list. Somebody might hook you up.
He's gonna need it, right? It's essential.
Because you're gonna be sitting there with him in the arm, and boom, and then when he gets smart enough, you got to give him the controller that don't work.
I used to do that to Eli.
We used to do that to you.
Y'all didn't do that to me.
Yeah, we did with the Nintendo. We did.
Oh, probably. Okay.
We did with the Nintendo.
Okay.
Your brother was playing Nintendo.
Right.
We'd give you the other Nintendo controller, and you were happy. So we passed these traditions down.
Facts. Eli got smart. Like mine's not plugged in.
Yeah, Eli got smart after a while. Like, yeah, he did.
Mine's not plugged in.
Facts.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
So LeBron James and a few other players, they start a voting rights group.
Okay.
To protect people, to protect African Americans' voting rights from, voting fraud and things like that.
Okay. Okay.
And what did you think about that?
I don't know if voting is going to be what gets it done. Thank you. I'm not even gonna try.
Let me read, cause.
Oh, that's for the baby.
Oh, PLY. Thank you for that.
All right, that's for the baby. Don't be trying to,
I won't.
All right. I'm not sure. Now, LeBron is in a situation where he's got to do something. He's got to, double down on some of the things he's already done.
Yeah, I was saying it's fly when nothing's happening and you're doing all these documentaries, you're doing all these things.
But now
it's
and everybody is watching.
Yeah.
And your boy Jordan threw up $100 million. Regardless of where the 100 goes, he did put up $1. So now LeBron has to do what I think he is necessary to make sure that the vote. Now, if we're creating our own political party,
that's what we need to do.
Now, if LeBron was saying all the black people, all celebrities, and people who are not celebrities, now what we want to do is create our own political party and make sure every vote and every dollar, right? So we can lobby for some things. That's something that I think could be progressive. But just to say you want to do something to protect the vote or make sure the vote has a level of integrity to it and vote for these same two devils, I don't know if that's going to be the answer. But we have enough power.
Yeah, we do.
Right? If all of the athletes, actors, rappers and all of them decide we need our own political party and it's going to be backed by our dollar, right? Mm-hmm. Then I think we're in a position.
Well, the thing is that a lot of these black celebrities...
T. Lawrence, thank you.
A lot of these black celebrities are funded by some of these people who are funding the Democrats.
I understand.
Even though, if you just look at it logically, the amount of money they make, they would be better suited for, Republicans.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They make enough. They're in that tax bracket to where it makes sense for them to be Republicans. So the fact that they're caping for Democrats tells you there's something else going on.
It tells you that they want to keep the poor people poor.
Because I guarantee.
At the end of the day, if you keep us going in the mill, going through the same process, then I start to wonder if you really care about me, as you say you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, a side note, I believe Rizza Islam started a new money service, sort of like PayPal, sort of like Cashapp. Don't quote me. I thought I saw a tweet today. Rizza Islam is called Kings something or to that effect.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to wait to the beta.
Oh yeah, you definitely gotta wait until the beta go through.
Yeah.
I'm just simply saying, in these moments, as black people trying to make a move, just throwing it out there because you know what we don't do? We don't hate on this show.
That's a fact.
We don't.
That is a fact.
We don't do no hating on this show. If you got something that we feel, you know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
And leave you an opportunity to pursue it further and, things of that nature. But I see something, I shout it out. So
that is a fact.
Shout out Rizza Islam and the new money system. Yeah.
So get your questions ready because you're about to start taking questions from you guys.
Yeah, I also saw something that kind of disturbed me was digitally modified mosquitoes have been approved by the U.S. So the U.S. government has approved digitally modified mosquitoes.
Genetically?
Genetically. Did I say
yeah, he made that
genetically modified mosquitoes. And the purpose of these mosquitoes is to have them screw real mosquitoes, like female mosquitoes, and kill off. I bet you Bill Gates is behind this shit.
He's behind all of this.
His shit is, so that they don't make diseases like yellow flu and other things that mosquitoes carry, so they will kill off the eggs of the actual real mosquitoes. So these genetically modified mosquitoes must have a sperm that kills eggs.
Okay, time out. First of all, I saw a story that said that there
Black
is
Gold Imperial. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
I did see a story that said that there is an illness that mosquitoes are carrying right now in the Northeast that could be deadly. So I'm like, this is something else that's gonna kill us. This month. However, wouldn't killing off all the mosquitoes mess up something in the ecosystem? Like, everything is there because everything needs to be there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. If bees go, we go, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Holes are here for a reason.
For a reason.
Oh, yeah.
That's the ecosystem is needed for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know about that.
Well, again,
and especially if they need them to reproduce with other things to kill them, what would happen if we get in contact with that?
See, that's where I was going next. That was some of the concern, is that if they bite you, then, I don't know what they'll do to you. So, but I'm just telling you, it has been approved by the government. These genetically modified, Miss Parker Lynn, thank you so much. A full ride at the age of 6. Give your take on Texas U giving George Floyd, his daughter, a full ride at the age of 6.
His daughter, or
I guess, is that him at the age of 6? George Floyd, a full ride.
His daughter. Somebody said
his daughter. I guess it's back to the pandering, because the family done made 15, 20 million.
Easy.
Off the, off the death. And setting his daughter up for future, so that, because her dad is not here, I have no problem with that. You got to take full advantage of the opportunities presented. So if she stays on the right course, sure.
USC actually, speaking of colleges, they removed the name of a eugenics supporter of one of their campus buildings.
What? Say that again.
They had, how colleges have different names for buildings.
Yeah.
This person, whoever's name it was,
the Canaan Land Moors. Peace. If that's my brother Prime. Thank you.
A person who supported eugenics, so they removed his name off of
off the building.
Trump said he wasn't going to take off any names for Confederate leaders off of military bases, and then the Pentagon said they would.
Well, this gets crazy, because then you got to remove George Washington,
Lincoln,
and all of the slave owners who built this country. We are embedded in a country in which slave owners run this,
right?
And it's on the money. I see Run the Jewels got a new album out. That's Killer Mike and the guy I don't know, the guy to be with him and stuff, and is getting a little traction. He's got a few songs out dealing with the money, So this rabbit hole, I'm not sure you want to go down, because I'm not taking no Benjamins out the pocket and going, fuck these Benjamins. I ain't gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Certain things I'm gonna do.
Well, what if that's their way of going digital money, like Bitcoin?
That's
and
where
like
they're going eventually. So that's why I don't think they put Harriet Tubman on the 20.
You know
what I'm saying? So eventually they're gonna say, we're getting rid of this whole system. These slave masters are on the money. We don't want to offend you. What do
you do for like city names like Jacksonville, named after Andrew Jackson? What do you do about all of that stuff?
It's all going subconscious mind. White lives matter. They're the ones going extinct. Peace to the gods. Dream-wise. Peace.
Like
White lives matter.
So like, what do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
It's tough. It's a tough situation. It really is.
It gets interesting.
Shout out my man again, Prime, Cannon Line Moors, who'll be dropping it. They brought me out to Canada. We did some classic work out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got a little name, little following out there. You know what I'm saying? Out in the boys, DN, my man, all of them. You know what I'm saying? Vic, all of them. I love them.
Somebody said Margaret Sanger practiced eugenics, so why aren't they boycotting Planned Parenthood?
Planned Parenthood,
Good.
right? Who Hillary Clinton said is one of the people who inspires her the most. See, this thing gets ugly by the minute. Once we start really, you know what I mean? I got a picture of Joe Biden at a Klan rally. You know what I mean? Literally at a Klan rally.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's running all over YouTube somewhere. So
somebody said you have to remove J. Edgar Hoover.
Listen, this thing gets crazy. So that's how we know this is a psyop.
Yeah.
They're just going to give you a few pieces of something, but they're not going to give you this country.
Yeah.
You can forget about that.
Yeah.
So That ain't happening. The money might happen because they trying to go crypto anyway, along with 5G technology and this and that. They'll let you tear down a few statues, tear a few. But George Washington, Masons, these are high-ranking Masons, Lincoln and all, no, and all of them became before them, no. Rudy Altima, thank you, peace. Appreciate you. I don't have my glasses on.
He said his question is, if our people are kings and queens, then how is there white supremacy?
Well, white supremacy is a term that we really technically shouldn't be using. It's racism is more probably of an adequate term, but we speak of white supremacy, and that's a part of maybe even our whitewashing. You know what I'm saying? Because if we're kings and queens globally and we have the history and everything to prove it, I don't want people to get caught into the moment that we're in now to assume that this is the way it's always been and the way it's always going to be. This 400 years, hold on, it's like 30 seconds.
That's what I was about to say.
Right, in the grand scheme of things.
That's what I was about to say.
So when we speak of white supremacy, it does give it a lasting effect, as if it's something that has been here, that has been controlling us. This is like a damn blip on the radar.
Because if you think, because I remember I had a Spanish class in like my senior year in high school, and it was about the history of Spain and things like that. So he talked about, my teacher, when the Moors had Spain for 700 years, right? So then he talked about when Spain took it back. He was like, yeah, they took it back from the invaders. I said, okay, right? For 700 years, think about how many generations of people who lived there, like generations of Moors who lived there, and this is their home. Right. And then all of a sudden, y'all rise up, kick Moors out of Spain. Y'all were not the aggressors, but y'all could be seen as the aggressors right there.
Of course.
In that situation.
Of course.
Right? Because 700 years is a long time.
Right.
Right? So you have to think.
But even 700 years, if 400 years is a small time, 700 is a small time.
That's a small time as well.
But it's enough to lay your foundation into some things. Right. And it may take 700 years. So 14, when is it, 700 years into 14, I believe it was 1492. Some of the Moors will let me know when the year was when they decided to try to get this back. But the damage was already done. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we are in something similar over here where, when you so-called conquer a land and we got to speak your language and, do all of these things, but we coming up out of it. Right? We coming up out of it. So I say white supremacy loosely because somebody checked me on that, in the chat room before, and I know what they meant. So I never take that stuff personal when people get at me, but they was trying to say we need to watch our language, and I agree. We have to watch our language and how we, because it's all in the language.
Right, that's fair.
Yeah. Let's get some questions.
Wife fragility. That's I actually have that book.
You have that book?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Any other questions?
Let's get some questions. 1492. Right. Yep. That's when your boy decided to get lost too.
He thought he was. Yeah, exactly.
One of the officers is out on bail. Yes. Somebody put up that bread, $1.5 million, I believe. Don't quote me. To get him out.
Yes.
And that's the way the white supremacist, or that's the way they show their support, probably anonymously. Let's get him out. And then I also heard one of those officers, I don't know how true this is, was only on the job for 4 days.
Well, yeah, it was two of them.
They was only on the job for 4 days. Now,
and that was one of those like first shift or something.
So my point is, do you honestly feel that they should be held to the same, charges as Chavez? You know what I mean? White or black? I'm just talking about if I brought you on a UPS truck with me, and I crashed or something happened, and that was your first day on the job, should you lose your job as well, and you don't even know the whereabouts of the job? And I'm not caping for the police officers. I always use perspective. I told y'all this. I try to put myself in the shoes. I just became an officer. I want to, help people. I want to get cats out of trees and help old ladies cross the street and all that old shit. And I'm just on the job. I'm nervous as shit. I don't know what's going on. And you start wilding.
I think, first of all, I think they all, some of them, those officers, there's something off about all of them.
Well, I don't think those were officers.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother can of worms, but I'm saying in the grand scheme of things.
Imagine it's your first day on the job
That's
and
what
then
I'm
your
saying.
partner kills somebody and it changes history in the country. Like,
and now
imagine
you
that.
sitting in a prison like fuck that. I became a cop to put people in prison, and this motherfucker walla, and now I'm in prison. So that's just a weird, situation. Did y'all speak on the Russell Simmons? Oh, I wanted to speak on that.
Go ahead.
I saw the Russell Simmons interview, and what I want to say about that is, I can tell Russell Simmons has growed up. You know what I mean?
Growed up?
Growed up. Yeah, that's a word. Growed. If this is a word, reparate, that shit ain't no word either.
Okay.
Then growed up.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He's grown in his understanding of things.
Okay.
You know what I mean? What he did admit, which I was glad about, that he was a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Growing up in the 80s and things of that nature. And the way he just laid out his story without seeing the documentary, because I don't know the other lady's story, I felt he was admitting that he was a piece of shit and he may have been out of control without saying he raped somebody. And what I mean by that is this. I came up in the 80s and the 90s. I was fortunate enough to tour the world in the early 90s. And the privilege that you have as an artist is beyond your wildest dreams. You know what I mean? So imagine being Russell Simmons, one of the most powerful people in the industry, and you run through 1,000 women. How can not 7 or 8 of them women feel that they were violated? Just naturally. You know what I mean? And because you in a position of power.
Right.
And they feel if they get in a room with you, that if you press them, that they're supposed to do what you want to do. I didn't have that kind of clout, but as an artist, when we come off stage, backstage, we had to pick of the litter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not proud of that, but when you don't understand, when you think that that's the way it's supposed to be, and in that culture, and I'm glad the culture is changing, but that culture was what it was, so I would not be surprised if he violated a few of those women and didn't even realize he was violating them. What he did speak about was during that time, he was the only black guy among Mick Jagger, all of these. They never bring up these rock and roll dudes who was doing bizarre stuff.
Yeah, Kiss has a song about somebody being 16. Like, that's the song name.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So that was that came, that was par for the course during those times. So I'm pretty sure if you're an artist who had an opportunity to tour the world, you know exactly what I mean. And if you went through, because he said this, I had more foursomes than dudes had girlfriends. So, he spoke about all the supermodels and he started name dropping. And when you Russell Simmons, that's, what it boils down to. So I felt he was being honest and open. As honest and open as he could be. And then he was on drugs. He had to admit that. So if you were in an altered state of mind, you might have violated them women and didn't realize you were violating them. So I say that to say to be sensitive to the women and what they went through, and I believe their stories, because perspective is everything. And I'm tying that into the Epstein documents, where I did see.
Yeah.
I saw the Epstein doc. I'm up to the last part. And this dude was a monster.
Yeah.
But all the girls had one common thing was, this was a man of power. So when he flipped over on the massage table, I froze. I didn't know what to do. And because of his position of power.
And they were young.
And they were very, very young.
Yeah.
So he was working psychologically on their minds.
Yeah.
So, it became one of those interesting situations. But watching Russell and what he was basically saying now is, I'm trying to clean my karma, right? I'm trying to clean my karma for all the dirt that I have done in my life. So I thought the interview was interesting. I thought, Charlamagne and them stayed on the subject and asked the right questions. And I thought Russell was forthright. So what I got from it was, yeah, I think you did violate these girls, but maybe not blatantly rape them outright or was violent, because he never really came across that way. But your position of power that you take advantage of in those situations, by default, when you sleep with that many women, there's going to be 8, 9, or 10 of them who maybe came and out of curiosity, You know what I mean? Because it's an unspoken language. You come back to the hotel, we just think that this is what it is. You know what I mean? So it's a real weird situation, but I think Russell was trying to redeem himself. He's out in Bali, probably hiding out. I really don't know. He's building schools and shit out there. And,
I don't think it's any extradition. So
right. So he's probably fine there. But he said there were no charges. No police officers have called him, and there was no official charges brought against him. It's just that this documentary is going to do something for his legacy in not really a good way. And he said he passed 9 lie detector tests.
9 detector tests are unreliable.
Well, again, I'm just giving you what he said in the interview. And I thought if I had to judge it, I would say they were both right. He violated them women, and he didn't realize he was violating because it was par for the course. It's what all of them artists and people in position did all the way up to Hollywood. That's why Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby are in jail. You know what I mean? For the very same reason of just taking advantage of this situation. And now, as we come to a time of enlightenment, all of that behavior will no longer be accepted across the board. You know what I mean? So it's good that he is going to put himself in position to try to clean his shit up. So yeah, he was a shitty individual, you know what I'm saying? But they all were. You know what I'm saying? When we speak about Hollywood and the shit that they was doing was real bizarre. So now I need to go back and listen to the lady's story.
You gotta watch this.
So now I'm working backwards. And to be fair with their side of the story. Because like I said, I do believe them. And even he said that. He said, I believe, when I heard, he said he didn't watch the documentary, but when I heard one or two of the women, he said I started crying because from his perspective, he didn't see it that way. But again, when you're in the mind of somebody else and you're in a position of power, and if I say no, or, you know what I'm saying, you high and you don't realize what's going on, this situation is very sticky. So Oprah backed out for whatever reasons. I believe he put some shit out on Oprah because if you know some shit on me, I know some shit on you. And I think Oprah backed out for reasons other than what she say she did. And in the grand scheme of things, let's just hope that particular culture is washed away. Let's hope eventually. Because we're still dealing with it. These artists are still going through it. But now these women, a lot of them are in the driver's seat now. And they can control the narrative a little more than they could back then. But let's hope that entire culture gets cleaned up is basically what I was trying to say.
All right.
You are tuned into the sounds of Urban X.
Okay. Any other questions?
Let's get some.
Somebody said no means no. Facts.
Absolutely.
Big facts.
But when you're the most powerful man, you don't hear that shit. And as sad as it is what it is.
They should all be in jail.
Some of the ladies were opportunists. We understand this too. So you have to factor all of that in, but not all the ladies were opportunists. And when you go through that, the point I'm trying to make is when you go through that many women, how could not by default 8, 9, 10 of them really not be with that? You know what I mean? So if 90 of them was with it, I'm pretty sure there's 10 who probably was a little nervous. Like, I didn't really come in for all of that. I came to chill.
I mean, I think the main one who started, because I didn't watch the doc, but I think when I saw the preview, she's been saying the same story for years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So her story's been very consistent. So that means that she was traumatized by something that happened to her. And again, whether you talking forceful rape, because there's so many levels of rape.
Yeah.
There's friend rape. You get raped by your friend who you thought was your friend. There's me saying no and you taking advantage. There's me being frightened, especially in pedophile cases of Epstein, where I'm just a goddamn child and I don't know better. So there's variable levels. There are women who were drunk, you know what I mean, and were taken advantage of when they shouldn't have. So there's so many different gray areas with this stuff, and the best thing to do, fellas, is stay out of those goddamn situations,
bro,
because it can cost you everything,
bro. What's crazy? It was some girls on my campus who really thought I was a weirdo, because if you even played and said nope, all right, cool.
Yep, absolutely.
Get dressed.
Absolutely. And again, I came up in the 90s, and you came to the hotel, we usually knew what that meant. And I never ran into any situations of resistance, but because it was so plentiful at that time, but I wasn't on Russell Simmons level. You know what I mean? Where it was just popping and popping and popping.
Somebody said, did I come up with baby names yet? We got a few. I think we got one that we like.
But we gonna hold that.
Yeah.
We're gonna hold
I'm
that.
not gonna say it because I don't,
Gonna hold that.
Yeah.
But it may be Dwayne. No, it's
it
not
is-
Dwayne.
It is not.
I was
Somebody said
sadly
they want to see my shirt?
It says, not racist, but race first.
not racist. Race first,
Feel me?
right? Because you can. That's all we're saying. We ain't racist. You know what I'm saying? When we say pro-black, that don't mean anti-white. We just saying race first, right? And mine's is don't hate, reparate. All right, so pay me. F you, pay me.
Just made that word up.
We just made that one up because I looked it up and said, with nothing there. Let's go for it. Yeah. And you can get these on the site? Tomorrow? Okay.
Okay, these will be up. Also, we're going to be running a Juneteenth sale
Yes.
for this week.
Yes.
Right? So it'll be 10% off plus free shipping.
Ooh, we going out of business.
Plus
We are
free
definitely
shipping.
going out of business with that one. Ooh, free shipping
Plus
and
free shipping.
Ooh, we going out of business. Alejandro, this is your last couple of days here
Yeah.
for sure. So let's get some questions. Any other questions?
Somebody said, Dot, in reference to Byron Allen's case, what happened to the civil rights ruling that was at stake if he lost? I think he lost it, no?
I think he lost that, but that could be back on the table now, maybe in a different manner.
Right.
By them giving up these channels, I think it's saying we recognize what you were trying to do. We're not giving you $20 billion,
Right.
but we are willing to compromise by putting you in position to have these black channels now. That's
So
what I'm assuming.
Byron Allen is in a very peculiar situation because now he has a lot of responsibility to the rest of the black community.
Yes.
That want to have some type of stake in television.
Right.
Because-
And the type of programming we're seeing.
Yeah.
Right? So not just a stake in it. We tired of seeing these damn buffoon shows of black people. We got to change. See, this is the issue too. As white people are apologizing and pandering, we too have to get our ish together.
Yeah.
Right? We have work to do
Yeah.
because if they put the ball in our court now, throw it off the backboard, and we're not ready to change our image. So another thing that you're going to see going on, you're going to see a lot of these artists now start talking progressive, pro-black stuff, which I'm not upset about if it's real.
It's
Now
not.
you're going to get a whole bunch of artists
it's trendy.
who looking to get trendy with it.
It's trendy.
Forget them. The ones who are true, because we got to start holding these artists accountable now. Right? I don't mind a Griselda, but I don't need 10 Griseldas. That's all I've been saying. Let's get back to what music is supposed to be, back to the artistry. Let's start supporting these artists. Let's start going back out and buying their albums. All right? Because this streaming stuff has killed music.
Yeah.
All right? That's for another conversation for another day. But let's get back to, I think every artist should make a limited edition of their albums available on CD.
Yeah.
Maybe 100,000, 200,000, all depending who the artist is. And once that 300,000 go, then it goes to a streaming service or something, because the art aspect of what's taking place is lost. You know what I mean? So let's hold our actors accountable, right?
Yeah.
Let's hold these, actors and rappers. Let's hold them all accountable now, because even though white people are pandering and apologizing, if we don't do our end, it's all for naught. It is all for naught, and we got to make sure that it's not. Let's seize the moment, is what I'm trying to say.
Somebody said, "Chill, you got 14 channels, but everybody watching Netflix." That's true too.
That's true too, but we got to start somewhere.
But but again, Netflix's model is not really sustainable. I don't think. Because they hold everybody else's content, and what everybody's doing with HBO, with Disney, all they're doing is just taking their content back and then starting their own channels. So what happens is, as everybody's doing that, everybody's starting a streaming platform that you have to pay for. people are just gonna start going back to cable.
Right. Saying, you know what? I'll just go back. And plus YouTube is becoming a force in itself anyway.
Facts.
You're gonna start seeing people do actual dramas and stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, people they do that already.
They do that already, but it's gonna start picking up. So I agree. We gotta have to take advantage of that.
Miss Parker Lane, yeah, she said YouTube.
Yep.
Are you guys a sidekick to the? I don't know what you're talking about. She said, "Are you guys?"
Either you guys are a sidekick to a white man. Every TV show the black guy is on sidekick. What's with that? Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, maybe our own channels will change that. Do you think they'll bring back the freestyle era of MCing? Also, do you prefer written battles over freestyle ones? Either or.
I like it mixed in.
I like a mixed in. I like a written rhyme. It's more organized. Like if I know I'm battling you in particular, I want to curtail that battle to you. But I also like the freestyle essence of getting on and just letting it hang.
Like
you know
I like,
what mean?
written battle and somebody who was able to throw in they freestyles in the
moment.
mix. Yeah.
Charlie Clips is probably the best
does
at that.
Sirius Jones does that.
Oh, Sirius Jones does that?
Sirius
Okay.
Jones does that. Charlie Clips did it. Rex did it when I remember. I forgot what battle that was, but Diddy came and he had $20,000. He said whoever wins this next round, he was going against Averb. He said whoever wins this next round is getting this money. So he's giving him his round, and he said Mook said he'll take $10K for somebody that's ill. For that $20,000 Diddy got, I'll kill a nigga for real. It was so hard because it was just in the moment.
In the moment, yeah.
Oh my God!
Did he get to 20?
Yeah, he got it.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, he said he went home right after. He's like, I ain't sticking around.
No, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Get my racks and boogie.
What else? What other we got? Somebody said Common is the king of freestyle. Common is
No.
Common is.
Yeah, Common said we should give white people a chance. He said that shit. Like, black people need to extend our hand to white people. He said that shit.
Somebody said, do you think apologize is a form of taunting because it's trending? I think so.
Yeah. It's kind of has an undertone to it.
I think.
Yes.
Like this is how I put it to my pops. I said, like, when your girl is upset about like you not showing her attention, and then you go, you know what? I got you. And then everything you do, you just keep showering her with attention.
Yes.
Like, what you want to drink? Well, I'll go. And then you just annoy her.
Yes.
And then she's to the point like, yo, go out with your friends, do
right,
something.
get away from me.
Get out my face.
Exactly.
That's what it feels like is happening now.
Yeah, and I'm not falling for it. But I'm not saying you shouldn't take advantage if you're trying to get a manager position, or you just got to take advantage of whatever's out there. You know what I'm saying? My credit is 127. We're going to give you that car anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So take advantage of the situation, but don't get caught slipping. That's all we're saying. All right. We should be out of here.
Yeah. So guys, don't forget to like. Let's get these likes up, please.
Would FBA on ADOS be correct terms in a court of law to make any reparations claim? I'm not sure. See, that's above my pay grade and understanding the language of this and that. Yeah, we only got 700 likes.
Listen.
They don't like us today.
Listen.
Wow. We up here slaving.
Facts.
Slaving.
Broadcasting
Wow.
heat.
Come on, bring us that heat now. Let's get up to a rack now. Y'all been holding me down.
What's somebody saying? Somebody saying hip hop is dead and that was done purposefully. Could be.
Yeah, and it's really dead now. Not on the underground and the actual preservation of the culture, but what you hearing and what you're seeing is no way you can tell me that this is alive, except for Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, a few other artists. He probably cooking.
Okay.
He's been out in some of the protests though. He's been out on the streets.
Okay, cool.
And Kendrick has been on the streets.
That's what I said. Where's Kendrick?
Oh, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Not J. Cole.
Yeah, he's been on the streets. And he's probably cooking. You know what I mean? So, we got to reform this. And this is what I mean by get back to the artistry aspect of it. Griff got a new album out. Cambada got a new heat rock that's getting ready to drop. And when I tell you it's Amazing. It is amazing. He just dropped a video for one of the songs. I know Red and Blue is working on something. We just got heat coming everywhere. A.A. Rashid, I'm waiting for that to drop. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, from an artist standpoint, you know, some people coming out with some heat. You know?
Somebody said that going to Kaepernick going to the Patriots were really poking him. I thought they was gonna do that a few years ago.
Right.
Because I said that'll just like what do you like the most racist team, quote unquote, and
a patriot, the Patriots. Yeah,
I said that.
Sure.
Let me look for more questions. David Williams, I guess he didn't like your take on Russell Simmons.
What'd he say?
Because he said levels to rape. Why this conversation is going left?
Well, maybe I didn't explain that correctly. But what I'm trying to say is there's then there's somebody drunk you took advantage of. There's somebody who's scared of you who does it anyway. And I think that is certain levels to taking advantage of somebody that could be considered sexual assault. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I may have articulated that wrong, so I apologize if I did.
Somebody said, Tommy Gunn said, do you think the Christopher Columbus statue is coming down?
No.
I think it is.
Well, hold up. We might take it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming down. Yeah, you're right. Tommy Guns, that's coming down. That's coming down. Sure.
Somebody said, why doesn't Byron Allen have any black stations or shows?
Well, hopefully now he will. I don't know. I don't know this man.
Yeah.
I just jumped on his bandwagon last year when I heard what he was trying to do. And then I heard he had a white wife, and I was pissed at that. But I said, those are his choices, not mine. You know what I mean? So let's see if what he's going to do is going to be beneficial for us. And now let me put this out there now, Byron, that you got your cable shows. We here at Urban X, we would rock with you because you black.
Facts.
Right? Yes.
Facts. Yeah.
If the check is right, and now you need to put black people right in position. So if y'all see me with the new Cadillac, you know what it is, baby. You know what it is. You know what that is.
Any more questions? Somebody said, when is the alien invasion coming?
I say 4th of July, Independence Day. That's when Will Smith and them drop their movie. Yeah, about the next couple of weeks. Could see that. Could see the alien invasion.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, could see that. Yeah.
And guys, with that being said,
because we saw mirror universes, right?
Yes.
And mirror is twins.
Yes.
We in 2020. This is the twin year. All of this stuff is popping on the 2020.
I forgot all about that.
So don't forget, they still using the Gemini energy on us. So yeah, you could see that. You can see that.
And somebody asked for some metaphysical breakdown real quick. That was dope.
Oh yes.
That was dope.
Okay, yeah. We in the mix.
All right, guys.
With that being said,
we appreciate your support. We appreciate you joining us for another week. Don't forget to get those likes up before we get up out of here.
Yeah, get them likes up. Yep.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit UrbanX.nyc. So what we're going to do is, for the sale, for the Juneteenth sale, it's only going to last for a week.
Okay.
It's only going to last for a week. Mm-hmm. What we're going to do is, the only way to get the code is you have to be subscribed to the blog. That's UrbanX.nyc.
UrbanX.nyc.
Yes, that's the only way you'll be able to get it.
Okay.
And the app.
And
you have to use the app. You have to download the app. It's free.
Yeah, it's free. Yeah, it's all free.
So, with that being said, thank you guys.
We appreciate you more than you can imagine. We really do. Shop, Urban X, subscribe, Cashapp us, all that good stuff. And with that being said,
peace.
Peace. We love you, and we out of here.